You're listening to Resource Radio on the Vets on Media Network.
Hey, we're back here in the studio with our guest, Rita Hudgens. Hello, Rita.
Hello, Darren.
All right. Hey, we always let our guests give out a shout-out in the shameless self-promotion portion of the show, so go ahead and tell them how to get a hold of you and briefly what services you can do for them.
Okay, well, thank you, Darren. Well, I am a professional certified life coach, and I specialize in life, in health and wellness, and in relationship. And my website is opendoorlifecoach.com, which Explio Media, you guys did a fabulous job.
Thanks.
No, wonderful job with that. And I've gotten so many compliments, your video work, your content, just everything.
Thank you.
So
And I just want to tell the
thank
people out there, if you go to the website, it's really, a lot of it is also a blog that you can read, like her thoughts. And so if you want to know like what's behind the voice you're hearing, go read that and you can find out how she really looks at life and family and all that stuff. So,
my story.
Yep. All right, so we're going to continue upon that theme.
Whoa.
What's wrong?
I want a phone number. I want a contact. I want some stuff here. Let's go.
Okay. Well, I can be contacted either through, you can go to the website, or my email address is ritahudgens@gmail.com.
Spell your last name.
HUDGENS.
Okay, just make sure, because there's a couple different versions.
There are.
So, yeah.
There are. And my number is 480-603-5804. That rings directly to me.
Good deal.
Cool.
All right, awesome. And she's great, folks. Take her up on her phone number and give her a call. And we are going to expand upon that, and we touch base on your personal reserves. Now that we know what they are, give people just a few usable tips or branch off on that and give us something that they can use in their daily life.
Yeah, well, sometimes I think in order to make it important for people, they need to know the benefits. And so, one of the benefits of having a reserve is it eliminates fear. And it really reduces anxiety because you're covered and you know you're covered in those areas. And you have a freedom of worries, and you do. We touched on attraction, and I know, Darren, you jumped that into, a relationship. But attraction is much more than just a dating relationship, a marriage relationship. There's business attraction, there's friends.
Yeah.
And so you become more attractive. And that's very, very valuable in business and in attracting
being
clients.
podcast personalities too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so steps to building reserves, it's very individual to the person. For instance, we talked about Ryan, and Ryan, you're so creative. I try to learn my client's language. And I give this example with my son, because my son, Rock, loves to break dance. He loves rap music.
Sweet. We need to get together. I'll bring my cardboard and my parachute pants.
He'd have a blast.
And I'll
Back to walking down the sidewalk in college, right?
Yeah, exactly.
With Snow White.
10 years out of parachute pants, but Ryan's still styling.
And I'll bring some Africa Bambaataa, and we'll throw it down. I can't spin on my head anymore, though.
Do you do the drum circle dances anymore?
What?
The drum circle dances.
No, I don't wear my flowy beige dress and all my jingly stuff. No, Darren, I didn't belly dance. I break dance. There's a bunch of letters in between the B and the dancing side that are different.
And so getting back to rap music and the things that he loves, it's not my, I don't have a taste for that, but I've learned it. I listen to it. Why?
It's your connection.
Because it's my connection to him. And so in finding my connection with my clients, I learn their language, and I learn to speak to what will touch their heart or their mind.
Yeah.
And so everybody's different, but, hopefully understanding that they need reserves is a starting place.
Yeah.
If they're
It's like
coming
admitting
to
you have a problem. You have to understand that you need
What's
to
your
have
problem,
that.
Darren?
Dude, this is the last segment of only an hour show.
Okay.
But in life coaching, I don't like to look at people and say they have problems.
Yeah.
Because we always accentuate the positive, and we look at
See,
building.
he was being mean then.
Ryan doesn't
was
have a
poking me.
mean.
He was
bone in
poking
his
me.
body.
I was poking him.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on you.
Prodding the hornet's nest.
That's right.
And so, basically, I lost my train of thought with the poking.
I'm sorry.
Darren, way to derail the guest, man. Yeah.
just getting to where they are. Oh, problems.
Right.
I don't like to look at coaching as addressing problems. It's just building on their strengths and building a nice, strong foundation. So when quote unquote problems, which is just all a part of life, when
Yeah.
these things come up, they aren't as big as they would be if you didn't have your reserves or your personal foundation, or if you didn't know who you were.
Or as big as we make them. I have a tendency to do that. I have a tendency to blow scenarios way out of proportion when I don't need to. And it's another part of the personality trait I know that I need to work on. And so I think that's important. And most of the times I blow it out of probably proportion is because I don't have reserves. So I don't give myself that leeway to be able to think
Like
about
overscheduling or something
yeah,
like that.
I don't give myself the time to think about the problem, so I go into more of a reactive mode than being a proactive side because of that. I'll say, I don't have time to think about this, and it turns into a negative situation where it doesn't have to. And I know the guys at the office are always bugging me about that. They're like, Ryan, be a little bit more flexible so you have the time to focus on, working on things and getting them straightened out and handled properly versus going into it with that very reactionary type approach.
And you hit, you hit the nail on the head, because entrepreneurs are very crisis reactive.
Yeah.
And I try to get them to have more foresight
Yeah.
and high standards, so they're not always just reacting.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And I think another important thing, because this happened to me recently, it is putting yourself or experiencing other people's real problems. I was humbled recently because I went to a men's group at my church, and there's probably 20, 25 guys there, and they're talking about, one guy's going through cancer, another one losing family members, and I'm sitting there going, man, mine are really just pretty surface level financial information. I'm healthy, I have a good family. I walked out there with a completely different view on life. So, not to drag religion into anything. I mean, I'm a faithful guy, but it was an eye opener for me. So I think if some people actually refocus themselves, maybe go work with a homeless for a day, go work in a food or clothing shelter, and just see what it's like for 2 hours to see how other people live. You walk out of that, you're blessed with a little bit of good karma moving forward, but you actually get to see how the real people really hurt.
Well, it was like when, all three of us went to the North Phoenix Chamber of Commerce 50th anniversary, and OCJ Kids was the benefit from that.
Love that. Yeah.
And Gary got up there and was talking about how the girls at the orphanages have to share underwear. I mean, just
that's
to even
incredible.
think
And
about
what
that
bothered
is
me was
just,
no door on their bedrooms. I mean, no sense of privacy to their entire life, and they have everything that fits in a plastic
or when
bag.
they end
That's
up, or when they end up
horrible.
leaving the
Orphanage.
the orphanages,
The foster home or
the
whatever,
foster
yeah.
homes, they're given $200 from the state in a black plastic bag. I
With-
mean,
go get
it
your
makes
belongings.
you-
You're 18. Happy birthday.
I think I saw probably 250 people in that room all of a sudden reevaluate everything in their life.
Well, he kind of
in that moment.
shocked everybody.
Oh,
he
yeah.
went right up there right away with the stuff you don't want to talk about,
Yeah.
and then slowly started giving. And then I thought, well, what's this for? Well, it's because he was giving examples of real life kids, and everybody just sat there and put their forks down and listened to this guy's entire speech. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that was a refocus point. It was a refocus point for me, even looking at it, saying, wow, these are young kids having to deal
Right.
with this. I can't deal with a simple problem at the office.
Right.
You
and
know,
you're not kicked to the curb with $200 saying, there you go.
Yeah,
There's life.
I
pal.
mean, and that really does put that kind of grounding effect on how you look at your problems.
No, that's huge. Darren, thanks for sharing that, because that is so true.
Yeah.
And that's huge. In life coaching, we call it reframing, and you've reframed your vision there. And just creating more opportunities to stay in that, because we get back into our little rat race
Yeah.
and we tend to forget. We forget the things that Adam and people like Adam do every day and have
Yeah.
done for us. And it's just going back to
And let
what
people
is
help you that
reality.
offer. That's another big thing too, because I'm kind of a prideful guy, and so I got people that are like, "Nah, don't worry about it," But sometimes you just have to. What's your
Adam's snickering over there because
I agree.
I think we're all the same way. I think you got three of us here sitting
Okay.
across the table.
I'm asking for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I have
And
a hard time. I have a hard time accepting help.
Well, it's also accepting compliments from people. It's like, oh no, I'm not like that. But just say thank you. Yeah. Well,
Go on.
they come in. They come in so infrequently that you take whatever you get. So anyways, back to Rita.
Yeah.
No, but though there's exercises too to where you start slowly but surely being able to accept compliments, to be able to accept help.
Yeah.
You know,
And
because
self-esteem rises with all of that as well.
it really does.
Yeah.
But what I try to do is I look at the person that wants to help you, and when
Right.
we don't let them, it takes something away from what they want to do.
Yeah.
Right. And if someone's willing to say, give me a call, I'll help you with this. If they're saying that, they mean it. Now, they don't mean at 3 a.m.
Well,
you know.
there
but-
are certain people though that say they want to help, but then they put the strings attached thing on there, and those people drive me nuts. The ones that are like, "I want to help you," but there's however. But what's funny is the but never comes out till after they've helped you. Then they're like, "Oh, by the way, remember when I helped you?
Yeah.
You owe me," and then it kind of
and
makes
they've already
it.
got a value on it.
Yeah. And I think that's with me. I mean, when someone compliments me, I really appreciate the compliment, but I just was taught by my dad to be humble. And so it was one of those things I was just taught.
Exactly. It's a Midwest value.
Yeah, it's just the fact that you just have to, you take the compliment, you're appreciative of the compliment, but you don't let it
Sink in.
build false sense of importance. And I think that's a big thing. And I see that in today's day and age. I see as we become more of a me-centric society where everything's about the individual, and as I see these younger kids coming out where they feel like they're entitled to everything, I almost feel like they expect to have that compliment. Like, if you don't compliment me, it's your problem, not mine. And when they get the compliment, they let it go to their head. And what ends up happening is it's a self-perpetuating problem where they get the compliment, they get the big head. Now they expect more compliments, but they don't want to do anything to receive the compliment. They just think that they're entitled to it. And it's sad because I think I see that coming into the business world too. And I'm starting to see it almost perpetuate even within, the Gen Xers, the baby boomers and things like that. And it's sad because it's one thing to earn the compliment and take the compliment and be gracious. It's another thing to expect people are going to compliment you because you did nothing. And it's kind of a weird thing.
Well, it's
I
kind of
see.
like the expected tip from your waitress.
Exactly.
For horrible service, wait to make tip. Well, where was the service? The tip is based upon service.
Right.
Not just because you simply
Showed up.
decided to put my plate on the table. That's why I'm here. So, yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, it's another dynamic I see going on out there that kind of is disturbing, to a certain point.
So we don't run out of time. Why don't we, do you have any more takeaways you want to give us, Rita? If not, Ryan might have some, no?
I just think the huge thing, if we can take anything away, 3 points. Number one, know yourself. As we're looking at creating balance, know yourself, slow down, and the last thing is create reserves.
Okay.
And I think a big thing for me, knowing my personality is a lot of self-reflection has been the thing where it's helped me with knowing myself, is actually taking some time, which is the rare thing I do for myself. Don't say I said doo-doo.
I know.
Adam was snickering. The one thing I do for myself.
Well, that one went right over my head, too.
is I really do some self-reflection, but I definitely have learned today, Rita, that there's a lot of things I need to work on. Personally, I need to step back.
Well, I think Rita would agree, too. You don't want to think too much about what you're doing either, right? Because you can almost have a negative effect if you focus too much on what you're doing. Because overthinking, that's a perfect
Right.
example, yeah.
Overthinking, exactly.
Yeah.
And really, to be honest with you, one of the things that works for me, good night's sleep.
Yeah. I think that's...
Think about it, pray on it, whatever, before you go to bed. When you wake up in the morning, it seems like it's a fresh day. I think it probably may not have as much to do with thinking about it before you go to bed as it is refreshing your body and clear thought in the morning.
Good sleep is probably the one thing that is the most beneficial to the human body is that thing. And then I think exercise is the other thing. I think
and water
to keep your body, water, but definitely exercise too. I think it stabilizes the
it gets the
mind and brain
endorphins going.
function.
It flushes everything out like a cachet flush on your computer.
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. People ask me all the time, and you said, gosh, Rita, you're here at the gym. Well, it beats sitting at home feeling sorry for myself if something's going wrong, or, and so that's
Well, and you get
what I
clarity
do.
sometimes.
You do.
When you get exercise
clarity.
and get everything all pumped up and going, sometimes you
All I know
Right.
is 2 years ago when I did the Tough Mudder, I had clarity on I want to breathe. I want to breathe. I want to breathe. So, I mean, exercise can definitely...
Hey, well, don't feel bad. I just saw a story a few weeks ago that Jillian girl, the workout girl,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
ran a marathon and couldn't make it. She
Yeah.
didn't finish. Yeah, but I don't feel sorry for her because being exercising and being fit has nothing to do with cardio and running.
Yeah.
because I hate running.
We had an excellent show here
being
today.
fit,
Rita,
too.
thank you for being on. Go ahead and give us again the website and the phone number and the email to contact you.
Well, thank you, Ryan and Adam and Darren, for having me, and our audience out there. I'm so appreciative to the vets for their sacrifice, their service. Once again, I'm Rita Hudgens. My number is 480-603-5804, and you can contact me there or ritahudgens@gmail.com.
Rita, have a great rest of the week. Adam, as always, thanks for being on the boards and making this thing run smoothly. Darren, take us out.
All right. Thanks for showing up again for another episode of Resource Radio, the hardest hitting radio show on the net. We will see you guys next week. Have a great week.